Good morning, Venerable ladies and gentlemen. This morning, I would like to talk about, you already know the topic, is it sinful to be rich? I think the word sinful that we use in Thai, in Bab, strictly speaking, the understanding of sin in Abrahamic religion, like in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and then the understanding of sin in Buddhism are not the same. Strictly speaking, we don't have the kind of sin that is understood in those religions. In those religions, being sinful means, okay, you have committed something not allowed by the Creator, and that you are going to be somewhere paying forever, paying for that forever. But for us, we rather use the word wholesome and unwholesome. Okay, being wholesome and unwholesome, kuson, akuson. We can translate it as wholesome and unwholesome. So this concept fits the Buddhist philosophical framework better than any other Western originated words such as sin. Leaving aside the concept of sin and just take it in a very general term, whether it's wrong to be rich and to be a good Buddhist at the same time. Is it possible to be a good Buddhist and to be rich at the same time? Some people will say, if you want to be a good Buddhist, you have to let go of everything, including your bank account. And but I suppose many of you here, you would like to retain your bank account, and you also would like to achieve, peace of mind that is possible from the practice of the Dhamma. So to have it both ways, put it in a simple context. You can understand why people ask whether it is sinful to be rich for a Buddhist. Because people feel guilty inside their mind. They have a guilty consciousness. Because the Buddha said, to be enlightened, to be free from suffering, we have to understand, we have to realize the Four Noble Truths, Ariya Sati. The Four Noble Truths teaches that there is problem in life, in this world, and the problem is going on and on. There's a cycle of suffering. In order to get out of that, we have to rely on our own effort. And by relying on our effort, we will find out the cause of the problem, which is attachment. So the word attachment, is something Buddhists are very familiar with. If attachment is the cause of suffering, then detachment is the answer. It's the way to liberation. Detachment doesn't mean that, you are not allowed to have a Mercedes car, to have a Rolls Royce, and to have a nice house. Detachment. In the early 1990s, in his book, the late Pope John Paul, in his book The Treasure of Hope, he criticized the Buddhist concept of detachment as a way to liberation. He said it wasn't possible. So today, partly to take on that, and partly I would like to touch on Buddhist economic ethics. Now, when we talk about attachment, that's also the Buddhist teaching that says all the evils in the world originated from 3 negative roots in the mind. That is greed, hatred, and ignorance. Here again, as a Buddhist, as a devout Buddhist, and as a business person, okay, you have a tug of war going on in your mind all the time, whether I'm doing it right. When I'm trying to get, my benefit increase, am I being too greedy? And being greedy doesn't make me a bad Buddhist, or even does it allow me to be even a Buddhist. This is the kind of guilt or the kind of confusion that goes on in many people's mind. I should say, not only the richest who have this this kind of sense of guilt, the poor as well. The people who are poor, they say, "Oh, is it due to my karma? Is it due to my past karma? Is it due to what? That I'm suffering now. I'm poor." They also have that kind of sense of guilt in themselves. So what I want to make, the first point I want to make here is that it's not just the people with lot of means to achieve things, but even people with little, they also have that kind of conscious struggle from time to time. I think this is a good thing. This is a good beginning, and we can explore from here. Now, as far as the Buddha's teaching is concerned, you all know, here in the audience, you have 2 types of audience. One is the ordained, the monastic, the monks. The other is layperson. And we have to look at the teaching of the Buddha in the context of these 2. For a monk, poverty is a virtue. It's a virtue. The less we earn, the less we eat, the less we wear, okay, the better. Even the less we do in the Karaniya Metta Sutta, Appakichoja, to do, okay, as little as possible. So a busy monk, is not very good. It's not very good. When you're busy, you can lose your temper very easily, and whatever metta you have in your mind, it flies away easily and quickly. That is why the Buddha said, don't make yourself too busy. But for lay people like you, poverty is not a virtue. The Buddha actually says in the Dhammapada, I'm quoting the text because I'm mentioning the text just in case people would like to go deeper into the issue. The Buddha said hunger is the greatest disease in the world. Meaning poverty is the greatest disease. When the Buddha sees poverty as a virtue for the monks, but for lay people the Buddha sees it as a disease, as an illness. So if you're poor, you are sick all the time. You need to get cured. And this disease is infectious. Okay, it could infect many people. It's a kind of very dangerous transmitted disease. At one point, I would like to bring in what the Buddha says, the social and political implication of poverty. Actually, also moral implication of poverty. If you are interested in the text, that's in the Digha Nikaya Guddadanda Sutta. The Buddha, at one point, he was consulted by the king what to do with the unrest in the country, political unrest. And the king, of course, in the Indian context, you have to do sacrifice, you have to kill animals, and you have to worship fire. So to follow those rituals, sasanapiti, in their religion. The king was advised by other advisors to do like that. But the Buddha gave him a different advice. The Buddha said, sacrifice wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't quell the unrest. It wouldn't calm the situation. If you come to me today and so we have political unrest,